at whatever time you are watching me. So today we are discussing raising children who talk to you. Our ability to raise children who talk to you. The Steward Parents Communication Framework. So children don't stop talking because they have nothing to say. They stop talking because they no longer feel safe enough to say it. So your children do not stop talking because they have nothing to say. But they actually stop talking because of their safety. So let's talk about this. Imagine your 16-year-old child, okay, has done a very terrible mistake. Your 16-year-old has just done a terrible mistake. They've been bullied. They failed an exam. They are struggling with pornography. Imagine that. They are pregnant. Yes, it's possible. They've gotten someone pregnant. They are experimenting with drugs. They are drowning in anxiety. Who will they call first? Who is your child going to call first? Who are they going to? Is it you or someone else? Is it you or someone else? That question is one of the most important questions that every parent should ask. Because of parent busy schedules and all of that, we are busy doing stuff, and then we are not mindful. Because communication is not measured by how much you talk to your child. It is measured by how safe your child feels talking to you. Communication is not about how much you talk to your child, but how safe your child feels when they talk to you. Many parents proudly say, my child tells me everything, but have you noticed something? Have you noticed something? Children tell us what they believe we can handle. Our children tell us what they believe we can handle. They hide what they believe will cause them love, acceptance, or emotional safety. Yes, children do that. It's not everything they tell their parents, because most times they feel, okay, it's going to cause them love, it's going to cause them safety. So they hide things, and then they tell you the things that they know will be convenient for them and for you. Okay, so but this afternoon we are not talking about teaching children to communicate. That is not what this conversation is about today. We are not telling you how to teach your child to communicate. No, we are going to be talking about becoming the kind of parent that children naturally communicate with, becoming the kind of parent that your child will naturally love to talk to. Okay, so that is what today's conversation is about. We are not here to tell you, okay, this is what to tell your child to be better communicators. No, we are here to tell you to become a safety place, to become the kind of parent your child will naturally want to communicate with. Hi, thank you so much for being here. To become the kind of parent your child will just want to communicate, because stewardship parenting is not simply about communication. Okay, it's not simply about just correcting behavior. I just want to correct the child. You're always seeking to correct. It is about becoming a safe guide. It's about becoming a safe space. It's about becoming a safe parent. Okay, for a developing human being. Your child is a developing adult. They're not going to remain children forever. So are you a safe space for them to communicate with? So many of us will say, our children tell me everything. No, they don't tell you everything, because they only tell you the things that they know that you can handle. Because anything that will cost them love, cost them your acceptance, cost them emotional stability, they will hide it away from you. They will shield that away from you and tell you only the things you can handle. Okay, because stewardship parenting is not about correcting behavior. So now we are going to be talking about how you can become that safe space. Hello, amazing parents. Welcome to today's live stream. You are all welcome to today's live stream. Welcome. I'm Ruth Ikhabomeh, the founder of the Equitable Parent Hub. And in this space, we talk about stewardship parenting, how you can become stewards, because that is what parenting is about. Parenting is about becoming stewards to the destinies of your children, stewarding the destinies that have been placed in your hands. Okay, that is what parenting is basically about, stewardship. Okay, so today's topic is deeply personal, because communication sits at the heart of parenting. Communication is what parenting is about. Okay, parenting is not just, okay, obey me. Parenting is not about obedience. Parenting is about your ability to become a safe space that your child can communicate with. They have made a silly mistake. They have been bullied. A lot is going on out there. Can you be a safe space? Can they come back to you and talk to you? Or you just become reactive, you become chaotic because you cannot handle who they are becoming. But today we are going to be talking about how to have healthy parent-child communication, healthy parent-child communication, because that is what parenting is about. Healthy parent-child relationship. Many parents believe communication begins with speaking, but today I bet to tell you that that is not true. Communication does not begin with just speaking. It doesn't begin with speaking. Communication begins with connection. It begins with connection. If your child doesn't feel connected to you, they will not communicate. And communication begins with trust. Connection begins with trust. Connection begins with trust. Communication begins with connection, and connection begins with trust. Okay? If trust is weak, hi, thank you so much for being here. Communication becomes shallow. If trust is weak, many of our children don't trust us because we are very irrational. We can be very reactive. Today we are stable, tomorrow we are unstable, tomorrow we are reactive, and they don't know which version of us they are going to meet. So they try to keep themselves safe by staying away from you, by staying away from your space. Why? Because you are not stable. You have not brought yourself. You have not been able to regulate yourself first. Okay, so communication becomes shallow when trust is weak. Communication becomes shallow when trust is weak. And this afternoon, I want to show you a framework that transforms communication. Today, we are going to be discussing about the framework that transforms communication from instruction into relationship. A framework that transforms communication from instruction into relationship. Yes, that is what parenting is about. It's about nurturing the relationship you have with your child, with your children, so that instruction feels like a safe space for them and not a threat. Okay, so as a parent, most times we feel that that you have given good advice, you have corrected wrong behavior, and constantly reminding your children what was right. The communication would naturally happen. That's what you feel. But if you notice something, many children listen, yet they don't share. Yet they will not share. Why? Many children listen, but yet they will not share. They will answer your question when you ask them questions. So they will answer you, but they don't open their heart. Then you start hearing parents say, my child talks more with their friends than me. Yes, they will talk more with their friends than you if they don't feel that you are safe for them. Okay? Then you start hearing parents say, oh, I only find out important things after everyone else have already known. You find out important things from your children after the whole world have known. Whenever I ask, they simply say, I'm fine. I know many parents have experienced that from their children, but I know you can relate. Okay, you can relate with this, but maybe you prepared meals, you paid bills, you paid their school fees, you've attended their school events, you told yourself, okay, this is, and sacrifice so much. You just believe that parenting is about presents, about buying gifts, about giving them stuff. You buy them stuff, you go out of your way to get them gadgets, to get them stuff. But parenting is more than that, okay? You've more than preparing meals, good meals, more than paying school fees. Yes, those are very good. It makes your child grow healthy. But beyond that, there's also the emotional depth. There's also connection. There's also communication. There's also consistency in your parenting. So yet when your child faces a real struggle, they don't come to you. Why? You have provided everything. Yes, when your child, hey, thank you, ma. So you've provided everything. You have provided good meals. You have done everything. Yet, when your children they are struggling, they cannot come to you. Why? Because communication is a thing in parenting. Communication is a thing in parenting. That relation will make you ask why. The answer isn't that children become more secretive. No, your child has not become more. The answer is that many homes have unknowingly become unsafe spaces for vulnerability. You have become unsafe spaces for vulnerability. You don't allow vulnerability. You say, why will you make a mistake? Why will you do that? Hey, you always want your child to come first in the class. So they go out of their way, even if they come second is a problem, you must come first. They go out of their way to change the communicator, what their school communicated to their parents. They will go and change the figure because you are on safe space. They are not a place for them to be vulnerable with. And every human being has shortcomings. So allow your children, because if you keep doing that, they will not come to you. They will keep struggling out there. And you may lose them. You may lose them in the process. So become a safe space. You become a safe place for vulnerability. If not, you will lose your children. You will lose your children. Okay? So one truth will change everything. Children don't hide because they love lying. This truth will change everything for you if you sit with it. Children, your child does not lie to you. They are not hiding because they love lying. They hide because they are protecting something. Your children are hiding because they are protecting something. They are not just doing it because, oh, they are children. They like lying, and that's how children used to do now. The children lie too much. No, they are protecting something. But if you become a safe space, they know that they don't need to hide anything from you. So sometimes they are protecting themselves from punishment. Sometimes it's from shame. Yesterday I went to get something in the morning during the during that school run time. So I was coming back. One child was crying. Parents said, "Oh, see, everybody is looking at everybody. You should be ashamed of that." I just turned back and told her that she should not be ashamed. Nobody's looking at her. Nobody's insulting her. Like, she was making that small baby feel bad. Children don't hide because they're not hiding from you because, or they are not lying because they just feel like it. No, sometimes it's from shame. So stop shaming your children. Stop shaming your children. Stop punishing them. Okay? Because many times it's about disappointment. Sometimes it's from disappointment. You feel disappointed that, oh, you expected so much from them. Expectation when you have not done the work. You expect too much from your child, yet you have not done the work. You have not empowered them. You have not given them tools to be able to navigate their world, and yet you expect so much from them. Parenting is about supporting your child. It's about equipping your children. Okay? So sometimes it's from even rejection. You reject them. You tell them that I will not talk to you again. And you mean you went to disgrace me. And sometimes it's from even losing your approval. Your child will hide and lie because they don't want to lose your approval. Okay? So all of this is not correct at all. So we should be able to become safe space. And you realize something profound. Today determines what your child tells you tomorrow. Your reaction today will determine what your child will tell you tomorrow. Your reaction today will determine how far your child is able to open up to you. Your reaction today, when they tell you something, how did you react? Okay? That will determine how far your child will be able to open up to you tomorrow. So that's why you should be able to build your emotional intelligence. Become grounded. You'll be able to regulate yourself. If not, your child will keep hiding stuff from you. They will keep hiding their struggles from you. Okay? A lot will be happening in their world that is just basic. But because you have not been able to do the work, you have not been able to heal from your wounds, you just keep reacting, and then the child will keep running away from you. Okay? So that will become one of the biggest shifts in your stewardship parenting journey. This will become the biggest shift that you will have in your stewardship parenting journey, because your reaction today will determine how far, the extent at which your child will be able to open up to you tomorrow. Okay? So now we have a framework, the Steward Parents Communication Framework. Okay? A 10 framework that will guide communication, so that you can be able to hold that special place in the okay, the chart, so you can be able to hold a special place in the heart, in the life of your child. The first in my framework is build emotional safety before expecting honesty. Build emotional safety before you expect honesty. Many of us, there's no emotional safety around us. We don't have any emotional safety. And as they are saying A, you are saying B, you are giving them woto. That's not emotional safety. They will not come to you. So learn how to build emotional safety. If you want them to be honest with you, if you want the truth, be grounded, be a safe space, be a calm parent. Be a calm parent. And you cannot do this in isolation. No, you cannot become a calm parent in isolation. You are reading books. After you finish reading the book, you will revert back to who you were before. You cannot pour a new wine inside an old wine skin. Okay? So you have to be able to do this work, because communication is the lifeline of your parenting. Communication is the lifeline of your parenting. Communication is the lifeline of the parenting. They have done abominable works. There is none. So the first is build emotional safety. Build emotional safety, because that is what will make your child become honest. That is what will make your child be open to you. Truth grows where safety exists. Truth grows where safety exists. If every mistake leads to shouting, children become editors of the truth. They will edit the truth. Okay, my parents, okay, next time I will not say this, this I will say it, this I will not say it. Because truth is a problem for you. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. So your child will just know that there will be a yearly match now. There's going to be a very loud yearly match now. So your children will become editors of the truth. They will start picking the things to tell you and the ones not to tell you, because you cannot handle them. You cannot handle. Every child wants a safe space. Every child wants a safe space in their parents. Okay, so your child accidentally breaks an expensive television. A reactive parent screams, "What is wrong with you?" You go there and beat the child. You beat the child very well, because that television is so, in fact, is your life. That television is your life. What is wrong with you? Why are you like this? But a steward parent says, "I'm disappointed that this happened. Tell me exactly what happened." The television can be replaced. There's nothing that is not replaceable. There's nothing that is not replaceable. So learn how to become a safe, emotionally safe, so that your child can open up to you. If not, even if you are not there, they would lie that it's not them. The television just fell down, and there's nothing you can do about it. So learn how to become a safe space, emotionally safe, so that your children can open up to you. Build emotional safety, because when you build emotional safety, your child becomes safe. They will become safe to be honest to you. But when you keep shouting at every of their mistake, every of their, you say, "Oh, this television is so expensive. What is wrong with you? Hey, I used all my money. I saved my money before I bought this television." Hey, you beat the child. You punish the child. You will not eat dinner today. You will not go to school for the next 1 week. You will serve punishments. You will take consequences. That is not how you teach honesty. You don't teach honesty by punishment. You don't teach honesty by violence. Okay? The television can always be replaced. There's nothing that is not replaceable on earth. So that's why you should learn how to build emotional safety, because trust is harder to rebuild. Trust is harder to be rebuilt than that television. Eventually, your child will buy that television and buy it more. So, but today, what you are seeking for is how to build trust. How to build the trust your child have. How to build the trust between you and your child, the trust between the parents and the child. That is the first step. The second step is to listen to understand, not simply to respond. Listen to understand, not simply to respond. Okay? Is to understand what they are trying to tell you. You just want to say, "Okay," and you child has not even finished telling you. So many parents interrupt children before they finish speaking. Many parents interrupt their children before they are trying to tell you something, but because of impatience, you will not allow them to finish what they are saying. You just intercept them, and then there's a yearly match, there's a flogging match. Go and kneel down, go and bring my koboko. You just start hitting, and then your children quickly learn something. They quickly learn that my opinion doesn't matter. But steward parents slow down. They slow down and pause, because if you keep reacting, your children will be sifting the information, the truth they tell to you. They will pick the ones they know you can handle. Okay? So your children learn that their opinion does not matter. But steward parents slow down. They slow down and ask, "What happened? Can you help me understand what just happened? What were you thinking?" Listening is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your child. Listening is one of the greatest skills you can give to your child. And this is not automatic. It doesn't happen automatically. Listening, you learn it. You learn it in a system. I know you have read many books. You tell yourself you have been reading books. Come and sign up for stewardship parenting program. Sign up so that you can build this capacity, build your stewardship capacity, build your capacity to become a steward, because listening is one of the greatest gifts you can give to a child. And remember, everything you do to a child is their seeds. You are planting seeds in your child. So whatever, if you are a reactive parent, you are planting seeds of reaction. If you are a calm parent, you are planting seeds of calm parenting, because parenting is legacy. It's not about just the now. Parenting is a bigger picture. Okay. So the third in my framework is separate the child from the mistake. Separate the child from the behavior, because usually bad behavior is communication. What behaviors are communications. Okay, so learn how to separate the child from the behavior. You say, oh, you are such a, you just label your child different harmful labels because you are not happy. Really, you are not happy, so everybody around you should get their own share of unhappiness. But as a steward parent, you learn how to separate the child from the behavior. So never allow correction to attack identity. You can correct the child without attacking the identity. But many of us have gone down to the baseline to attack our children's identity. There was a voice note I heard somewhere some time ago. The woman was saying, you are a thief, you are an idiot, you are an ingrate, you are this, you are that. After seeing what I'm going through, you did this to me. So that is attacking your child's identity. You are there to build, as a steward, you are there to build your child. So stop attacking the identity, okay? And never allow your correction to attack the identity, but rather separate the behavior from the child. Because usually, behaviors are communication. Behaviors are especially bad behaviors are communication. The child is trying to tell you, this is where I'm struggling. I need help here. I need to build skills here. And if you are not mindful, you are not watchful, you will keep hitting the child, you will keep yelling, you will keep doing all the wrong stuff, keep reacting, and then the child doesn't learn anything. So don't say, oh, you are a liar, you are lazy, you are a thief. You mean you carried the chicken I kept in the fridge? You mean you carried my money without telling me? You are such a thief. You are calling your child that. That is so unfair. That is so unfair, okay? A steward parent will say you told a lie, okay? Don't say you are lazy. Say, I noticed this responsibility wasn't completed. I noticed you were not able to complete that responsibility. So identity shapes destiny. That identity you are building in your child shapes their destiny, okay? So protect it. Protect the identity at all costs. Don't say, oh, their teacher said this, and they are just saying now. They're not doing anything. They're doing a lot. They are doing a lot. And identity is the destiny you are stewarding. That destiny you are stewarding stems from the identity. So protect it. Protect it with everything you hold dear. Protect the identity. The fourth on my framework is respond before you react. Respond before you react. Your emotional regulation teaches your child emotional regulation. Your own emotional regulation teaches your child. Your own emotional regulation teaches your child their own emotional regulation, because you are their regulator. Before your child learns how to regulate themselves, they first of all pick your own emotional regulation. Okay, so that is why parenting is not reaction. Most of us were raised in reactive environments where it was basically survival. There were misunderstood communication. Nobody really understood us. We're just struggling on our own. Nobody even understood what we were going through. That is emotional deregulation. So as a parent, you should be mindful of your emotional regulation, because that is what regulates your child emotions. Because when parents explode, children withdraw. When you explode as a parent, your child will keep withdrawing. Children withdraw. When parents remain calm, children remain open. So you stop saying, oh, my child does not tell me anything. It's from their school I found out. But after asking them, she said fine. She said fine. Every time, fine. But you will not tell me anything. I will later go and find out from your friends. Because you have not been able to regulate your emotion. You are always erratic. You're always screaming. They are telling you something. Hey, the whole street say, what is happening in Mommy Dele's house? What is happening in Mommy Dele's house? Mommy Dele has started again. But your child will learn how to, when you are calm, your child will become open to you. They will tell you everything. They'll be able to communicate it to you. The things that are important, okay? So some things are not important, so just leave those ones. But the things that are important about your child, you should be a safe space. You should have been able to regulate yourself. That's why you hear people say that parenting is we test your patience. Yes, parenting will keep testing your patience because you don't have tools. You are not equipped for it. You're not equipped for parenting. That's why you tell yourself that parenting will keep testing your patience. Parenting with this, parenting with that. You have not done the emotional work. Parenting with emotional work, a lot of emotional safety, a lot of emotional regulation. That is what parenting entails. So, but when you remain calm, your children will keep coming back to you. But when you are always exploding, your children will withdraw. They will withdraw away from you. They will not tell you things again, because the last time they tried talking to you, you exploded. You exploded. You were everywhere. Everybody, they were wondering that was it this that brought about this? They were even scared. So, but children will be open to you when you remain calm. So, calm correction keeps communication alive. Calm correction keeps communication alive. So, the fifth on my framework is ask better questions. Growing up, I used to wish that I asked questions a lot. I was kind of child that asked questions. I used to ask questions, but I sometimes wish that I was being asked questions so that you can review my mindset, so that you can see where I'm struggling. Okay, so as parents, as steward, the better communication for you to adopt is to ask better questions. Ask better questions instead of just saying, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Ask what happened. And be patient enough to hear what happened. Be patient enough to hear what happened. Ask what happened and be patient enough to hear it. Because what were you hoping would happen? What were you feeling? Ask all of these questions. So don't just assume. Assumption is the lowest form of information. Stop assuming. Ask questions, and then when you ask questions, you'll be able to know the mindset of your child. You'll be able to know what they think about such issues, and then you'll be able to guide them. So parenting is guidance. It's not punishment. It's not about punishment. Every time I'm writing my second book, Beyond Punishment, the Beyond Punishment Framework. So my first book is out, but it's so my second book is Beyond Punishment Framework. So parenting is not about punishment. It's not about punishment. You're trying to punish. You're always trying to. What were you hoping would happen? What were you feeling? So do you care about what your child feels, or you're just thinking, just do? You're always giving instruction. You're just correcting. You're just flogging. You're just shouting. Do you care about how they feel? Do you know whether they feel understood? Because questions create conversations. Questions create conversations, and conversations reveal their mindset. It's from having conversation you'll be able to understand the mindset of your child, because interrogation creates silence. Interrogation will create silence. The sixth on my framework is correct with curiosity. Correct with curiosity. Behind every behavior is a need. Behind every behavior is a need. Like I said, misbehavior is communication. Misbehavior, your child misbehaving, they are trying to communicate that they lack a skill, or they have some unmet needs. Okay, so correct with curiosity, because behind every behavior is a need for a skill, a need for a need for their need to be met. So there's always a need behind. So stop looking at the mistake. Stop looking, your child, because those small mistakes that you are not able to handle is the reason why they will never come back for the major ones. They will go out there to seek for solutions. Okay, so but behind is a belief, and it's a missing skill, a belief. They just believe that, okay, this is how things are done. This is how they should do things. Okay, a missing skill. But steward parents navigate before concluding. Steward parents navigate before concluding. You not just assume. You investigate. You ask questions. You find out. You be curious about your child, because that's what somebody was telling me. Parenting is not about you're not trying to use one model on every child is unique. So you try to learn them. How do you learn them? You learn by investigating, by being curious. By being curious, that's how you watch, you observe, because behavior is communication. They're trying to communicate, this is who I am, this is my personality. They will communicate to you who they are. Okay, and on the number seven on my framework is to create daily connection rituals. Create daily connection rituals, because communication isn't used through emergencies. Hey, everybody is running everywhere is chaotic. It's not how you can connect to your child. You don't build connection that way. You don't build connection from pressure. Excuse me. You don't build connection from pressure. You don't build connection from chaos. You don't build connection from flogging. You don't build connection from exploding, from shouting. You build connection from rituals, from daily activities, from activities you do that bring you both together in an understanding manner, because communication will not, emergency will not bring you to any communication. So that is why you need to be calm as a parent. You need this calm, you need this framework, okay, this communication framework. You need it, because it goes through ordinary moments. Communication goes through ordinary moments. It goes through values. It goes through conviction. Okay, so ideas include for dinner conversations, ideas that you can use for building this communication. Dinner conversations, while you're having dinner, you can talk with your children, you can talk with your child. Bedtime reflections, one-on-one outings, daily check-ins, while you're preparing them for school, while you are with them. You can consistently create openness. Consistently, you are doing this consistently. This is what creates openness, not that pressure, not that emergency. You are shouting, hey, you did not, my friend said that this happened in your school. You have not told me. How come I'm finding out from your schoolmates? That will not bring connection. That will not bring connection. What will bring connection is all these things I just mentioned on daily check-ins. You make sure you check in with them, one-on-one outings. You go on a walk with your child, because consistency creates openness. It's in consistency that you can create openness, not in just emergency. The eighth on my framework is model honest communication. Many of us will just say, oh, my child is not honest. But it's you. Somebody is coming to see you. You tell the person you are not at home. Meanwhile, the child is looking at you. You model honest communication. The child is looking at you. Mommy, are you not in the house? You tell your child, keep quiet. Keep quiet because I say so. You tell your child, keep quiet because I say so. Your child will not understand that, okay? You tell your child, keep quiet because I say so. But that is not what we teach honest communication. You have just modeled to them that it is dishonest. You have just modeled to them this honest communication. You have just shown them that communication can be dishonest and doesn't matter. Okay, you can say anything that you want to say and let them just manage. But that is not modeling. You are modeling the wrong things to them, and then you eventually tell them that they are not honest. Meanwhile, what did you teach them? That's to them. So children copy the experience. Children copy what? The experience, not. So if parents apologize, children learn humility. If parents apologize, children learn humility. If parents admit mistakes, children learn honesty. Okay? So sometimes you do some things, you like, these children, they are small human beings now. What is their business? What is my own? So, but when you are honest, you are, like I said, everything is communication. Your children are absorbing who you are. But the one you do not, the express one or the implied one, they are absorbing everything. So model honesty. Because if parents communicate respectfully, children imitate respect. If parents communicate respectfully, children imitate respect. But if you are erratic, you say anything that comes to your mind, everything that comes to your mouth, you just say it. Is it not my house help? Is it not the driver? Is it not the cleaner? You just talk to them as if they are animals or they are objects. So, but when you have brought yourself to know that you are a model, when you have brought yourself to know that you are a steward to this destiny in front of you, you would begin to apply this communication framework I'm talking to you about today. Apply this communication framework, because when your child sees that you communicate respectfully, your children will imitate your respect. Your children will imitate whatever you are doing around them. So now on my framework is to teach emotional vocabulary. Teach emotional vocabulary, because many children don't misbehave because they are bad. No, they are learning. They simply don't know how to explain what they are feeling. Many children are struggling. So it is your duty to be able to teach them. Okay? Teach them. Teach words like, I'm embarrassed. I feel sad right now. I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed. Children who can name emotions manage emotions better. So let your children know how to express their emotions, because when they know how to name their emotions, they can manage them. From naming their emotions, they'll be able to manage them. But you see a child throwing tantrum, they learn it from you. When you're angry, you slam the door and walk away. You slam the door and walk away. And who is he? Who is she to talk to me that way? Who are they to talk to me that way? And then you just walk away. I'm forgetting that you are a steward. You are stewarding destinies, and those destinies are right in front of you, watching who you are becoming, who you are. So your children should learn how to name their emotions from you, because when they learn how to name them, they can manage their emotions better. Okay? Let your child know when they're angry, when they are sad, when they are not happy. Let them know how to name their emotions so that they can manage it. Then the last on my framework is to protect the relationship during discipline. So discipline is a core in this side of the world. In fact, in everything on earth, discipline is a core. We feel discipline is punishment. You say, you hear people say, I remember when I just had my baby, I was talking to somebody, why you? He said, you want to tell me that I should not discipline him or flog him very well. I said, discipline is not flogging. Okay, so now how can you after you do the wrong discipline, how can you protect the relationship? You are not able to protect the relationship because your child will be hiding. They will keep selecting the truth to tell you. They will keep picking out what is convenient for you to handle, what you can handle. Okay, because there's no relationship on that level. There is no relationship on that level with them. So that is why you should protect the relationship even during discipline, because discipline is not flogging. Discipline is not shouting. Discipline is not hitting. It's not as it's doing, you are doing them back. You do anyhow, you collect anyhow. That is not discipline. You'll be able to protect the relationship during discipline, because never let discipline communicate. Never let your discipline communicate that your child is rejected. Never let your discipline communicate that your child is not wanted. But let your discipline communicate that they are loved. They are loved too much to be left without guidance. That is what your discipline should communicate, that they are loved. After your communication, after your teaching, after your guidance, let your child be able to understand that they are loved. Okay? That they are loved too much to be left without any guidance. That they are loved too much to be left to navigate the world without a guide. Because children should leave correction feeling loved, not emotionally abandoned. Your child should leave correction feeling loved, not that they are abandoned or rejected or unwanted because you are trying to discipline them, because you are trying to correct them. Your child should not leave correction feeling loved. Okay? They should not leave correction feeling unloved, but rather they should feel love from your correction. Let your correction give them the feeling that they are wanted, that they are loved so much. Oh, imagine they should feel that they have learned a lot from that correction. They should feel that they have learned so much from that discipline, and they should see the love from it. Because children live when they should not feel emotionally abandoned. Okay, when they leave you feeling, they will just feel that okay, this is what discipline is about. But when you know that you are thinking about the future, you are thinking about legacy, you'll be mindful of what you do to them, because everything you do is a seed. Everything you do in your parenting are seed. So now many parents think communication begins when children become teenagers. You wait and just say, allow the baby now, it's just a baby. Allow the baby. Something happened last week. A child did something, and then I was trying to, I told the parent about it, and the mother said, please just leave her, she's just a baby. So you start, communication does not start, you will not leave communication to when the child becomes a teenager. Communication begins from when a child is even in the womb, from when your children are still toddlers. That's where when communication should begin. So stop telling yourself that children are just children. Allow them to be children. No, you can teach responsibility to even your toddlers. Your toddlers can also be responsible because communication begins from the womb. You can talk to your children from the womb. Yes, from the womb, your children will start understanding you. It's not when you leave them, oh, let them become teenagers first. When they have sense, I can start talking to them. This one now, they are just meat. Your children are not meat. They have emotions. They have a mindset. So start teaching them now. Start teaching your toddlers now. Start teaching your babies now. They can hear you. They can understand responsibility. Start giving them responsibility, because when you believe that if your child become teenage until their teenage years, that communication will keep becoming. That's when communication will become complex, because they cannot communicate with you. You don't understand their word. They don't understand if you understand their word, and they will just evade you. They won't talk to you anymore. So learn how to build communication from childhood, from your child's small age, because every time they tell you, look at me, what's this? Listen, they're asking, am I emotionally important to you? That is what your child is asking. Am I emotionally important to you? Because every response answers that question. Communication isn't built in one moment. Communication is built from conversations. Okay, it's built in thousands of small moments. So communication is not one thing you just build on so much intensity. It is something that is done consistently. It is not the intensity that you give to it. No, it is something you do consistently. You do it daily. You communicate daily. You create outlet. You create a space. You create a safe space where communication can be had. Okay, because communication is not built in just one conversation. Communication is something that happens in thousands of small moments, in plenty of small moments, in plenty of days. So that's when your child gets to know, okay, this is the extent to which I can communicate with my parents. That's when they know that, okay, I've entered a big shit. I've entered a big trouble. I can come and talk. I have a safe space to go back to. I have a safe space to go back to relate, to get wisdom, to be guided. Okay, because that is how communication is built. It's built from having conversations. Communication is built from conversation. So here's where many parents struggle. They know they should listen. They know they shouldn't shout. Okay, you should listen, you shouldn't shout. And there's something that we need to be mindful of. You won't have experienced all the kind of parenting that you have experienced, and then you just tell yourself that you want to just change. You have read books. Information does not bring transformation. Information will not give you transformation. What will give you transformation is intentional guidance. Okay, because you cannot see your blind spot. You cannot see your blind spot. Now, you struggle, you tell yourself, oh, you are supposed to listen, you shouldn't shout, you should not flog, you should not hit, you should not knock, you should not bite your child. Okay? You know that if you remain calm, yet you still react. With all the books, you tell yourself that maybe all people that want to be training parents, all people that are talking parenting coach, and maybe I will buy books and then I will read them and I will get it. Yet you are still reacting. Yet you have not gotten the message. Yet you have not gotten the message of parenting. Why? Because communication is not only a parenting skill. Communication is also an emotional maturity skill. You tell yourself, oh, maybe I was the one that carried the child for 9 months. I was the one that, so I should know how to communicate to my child. No, parenting, communication is an emotional maturity skill. You should be able to have worked on your emotional intelligence, emotional capacity a lot, so that you can communicate. Because there are some things that your child will say to you and you just want to explode. because you have not done the emotional work on yourself. Emotional maturity is a skill. It's a parenting skill. So these are parenting tools. You cannot get them by just saying, okay, you have a lot of information. It cannot fall on you because you have a lot of information. It is something you build in a curated space. You build this in a curated space, okay? Because sometimes the biggest barrier to communication isn't the child. Many times, the biggest barrier to our communication isn't the child. It is the parents' unresolved stress, unresolved trauma, unresolved fear, exhaustion, or childhood experiences, childhood wounds that we have refused to address. You say, my parents did that to me and I turned out fine. Did you really turn out fine? Okay, so it is not the children. It's not about your child. It's not about your child's behavior. Your child will always remain a child. Our children will always remain children. Our children will always act like children. Okay, even the Apostle Paul said in the Bible that when I was a child, I acted as a child. Now I'm a man. So children are not going to be children forever, but while they are children, they are going to be children. So it is now the barrier in their communication is now you, for you to become the adult, to become the adults in their life. Okay, so that is why stewardship parenting isn't just about techniques. Then they say when the child is throwing tantrum, you just slap the child now and just slap the mouth, the child will stop. That is not the techniques that stewardship parenting is about. It's about growing the parents. Stewardship parenting is about growing the parents, growing yourself, growth, self-development is what stewardship parenting is about. You cannot do it. You cannot pour an old wine into a new wine. Cannot pour a new wine into an old wine skin. You cannot. Okay, so stop mixing old wine and new wine together to keep being old. Okay, so you have to grow up. You have to grow up and pour out the old wine. You have to take out the old memory. You have to take out the old knowledge. You have to take out the experiences, the memories. You have to do your work. You have to grow up, because when parents grow, communication grows. When parents grow, communication grows. Connection grows as well. Influence grows. When parents grows, communication grows. Influence grows. And we want to remain evergreen influence to our children. Evergreen influence to our children. And how can we become evergreen influence? When they tell us something, we explode. We become reactive. We just start shouting, "Hey, you mean you were the one that carried the chicken from the fridge? Who told you to carry it? Hey, you carried this thing. Who told you to carry the money in my purse? Why did you carry the money in my purse?" You will not be able to influence them, because they will be hiding. They will keep hiding stuff from you. Why? Because you have not been able to grow as a parent. You have not been able to grow as a parent. But when you have grown, communication will grow, connection will grow, and then your influence on them grows. They'll be able to come back to you when they are struggling, when they have entered a mess, when they are being bullied in school. You hear stories of children being killed in boarding houses. Why? Because they just feel this sense of secrecy around their parents. Their parents will not understand. But if you have been able to build this communication with your child over time, there's nothing that people cannot discuss. If you have been able to build this connection with your child over time, there's nothing your children shouldn't be able to tell you about their struggles. In fact, you empower them to be able to survive in any space they find themselves. Any space they find, your influence should be so strong around them. That is why you need this stewardship framework. You need this stewardship framework to be able to become the steward, to be able to steward the destinies of your children. Stewarding their destinies, because that is what parenting is about. Parenting is stewardship. It is not something that because you carry the child for 9 months, you just put food in their mouth. You make good food for them, pay good school fees, take them to good schools. Parenting is beyond that. Parenting is becoming a steward. A steward knows that the children that is before you are not yours. They are not yours. They are the king's child, the king's children. So parents, your greatest influence isn't the advice you give. Your greatest influence isn't the advice you give your child. Tell yourself that, oh, that I've been giving my child advice. Oh, I've been doing this. It is the relationship you build long after your child forgets many of the words you told them. It's the relationship you build long after your child forgets many of your words. They will remember how safe they felt with you. They remember whether home was a place of fear. Yes, your child may not remember everything that happened to them, but they remember how safe they felt when they were in your home. They remember how comfortable they felt telling you their mistakes, telling you their shortcomings. So they remember whether home was a place of fear, a place of just survival, or a place of belonging. They remember all of it. So, and who you are becoming today will determine all of this. Who are you becoming? Are you mindful of your role as a steward? Are you mindful of your stewardship role as a parent? Or you are just thinking parenting is, our parents did not learn parenting, so you will not learn. You must learn. You will learn parenting. So your child will remember whether it's a place where they belong to, a place where their voice matters, a place where their opinions matters, a safe space where what they feel understood, they feel seen, they feel understood, they feel, okay, this is my home, this is my own home. Okay, so steward parents don't merely raise children who obey, they raise children who trust them enough to say, Mom, Dad, I need your help. That is the goal of parenting, to be able to let your child be able to see that, okay, you are a safe space for them to come back to you and say, Mom, Dad, I need your help. I'm struggling. I'm drowning here. So that is where your stewardship parents matters. To be able to raise children who are not just obedient, who are not just foolish virgins, but children who trust you enough to say, Mom, Dad, I need your help. I need this sorted out. I'm struggling. Many of our children are struggling. They are going through a lot, but because we are not mindful of what is happening now, we are not even aware. So everybody is just going their way, and because you cannot even connect to their world, you don't even know what they are going through. So that is the kind of relationship we should pursue. That is the kind of relationship parents should pursue. So if you are ready to become that kind of parent, join the Steward Tribals program. Okay, so inside we will help you to build emotional safety at home. We'll help you communicate with confidence and wisdom. We'll help you to converse without breaking connection. Inside the framework, we'll raise emotionally healthy, grounded children, because parenting is not ownership. You don't own those children. They are not your possession. It is stewardship. It is stewardship. So because your children don't remain connected because parents have all the answers. Your children will not remain connected to you because you have all the answers. They will remain connected because parents become the safest space to bring their questions to. So sometimes our children have absurd, they have weird questions in their mind, but they cannot bring it to you because when they just come to you, explode and say, who told you that? How will you think that? And who gave you the right to think that? You will yell at them, you will flog them, you will hit them with anything that is within reach. That is not stewardship parenting. But here you get to learn how to become a calm parent, how to become the parents who don't need to hit their children anymore. Under this framework, you get to learn how to become the parents who don't need to hit their children anymore. So we have come to the end of this class. I hope that you get to practice this framework. You get to learn how to practice this communication framework between yourself and your child, between yourself and your children, because as parents, we need this communication framework because our children are actually struggling. They are going through a lot in their world. They are trying to navigate their world. But if they cannot come, if they don't find you as a safe space, they will not come back. If they don't find you as a safe space, they cannot come and say, Mom, I'm struggling. And then you find out and discover that it's something very small. But in their world, it's looking so big. They are thinking, how will I come out of here? Oh, what? But when you become a safe space, you discover that this is something you can help with. And everybody is fine. You are fine. They are fine. But when you keep being an unsafe space, you don't allow them to be vulnerable. Your goal is just for them to be taken first. You that all the first you took, where are you now? All the first you have taken, where are you? So leave your children, allow them to be vulnerable, allow your child to grow, because you should grow. Allow your child to grow. Allow your children to be vulnerable, okay? Allow your child to grow, because children will remain connected because their parents have children. Your children will not remain connected because you have all the answers. No, your child is not looking for you to have all the answers. Sometimes they just want you to help, to just think with them, stay with them and think, okay? They remain connected because parents become the safest space to bring their questions, you become a safe space for them to be vulnerable to, okay? So thank you all so much for being here. I see you all. Thank you. I really appreciate your presence. See you same time and same space next week, Wednesday. Bye.